Hey everyone, Calvin here. I hope you're doing well. I just want to make a video about COVID-19 and my perspectives on it. Kind of give you a little bit of my insight, perhaps a little bit of optimism and good energy, because I think we all need it at this point. Um, so I think, COVID-19 has a permanent impact on our planet, and it's definitely a pivotal point for humanity. I think it's going to be survival of the fittest, and want to talk about what we can do to actually survive through this and see ourselves thriving on the other end of it. Just kind of going through it, especially if you're kind of working at this point, finances are definitely going to be a strain, because job security, like we known before, it's really there's no job security. Companies are going to be downsizing, and they're going to be doing what they can to save their company versus being too concerned about your well-being and putting food in your mouths and your family and your loved ones. So that's a reality, and that's been a reality for a while now. But many of us have been kind of trained to work for someone else, versus kind of being a little bit of entrepreneurial and kind of self independent and financially independent. But I think we all have to kind of take a big step back and take a look at the situation, see what we can do to actually create opportunities for ourselves. I think COVID-19, looking at it in a positive perspective, it's kind of like giving ourselves an opportunity for a brand new start. Just kind of like take a look at our lives and see what we want to do with it. Uh, you know, did we want to start a company? Did we want to kind of follow our passion? It's something that you could, give yourself an opportunity to kind of, uh, you know, step away from the everyday things that we've known before and give ourselves an opportunity to really dig deep and go inside and to kind of discover ourselves and do a little soul searching. Because it's kind of like I don't know, if you take a look at in history, say and say say something like World War II, the Holocaust, right? Those who were like put in concentration camps, they were starving, they're being tortured, many were being killed, but there are those who actually survived it, and we have to take a look at how they survived, because they're faced with the same physical conditions with each other, but those who came out on top probably had a stronger will, a stronger mental and emotional set point. And I think we have to do that for ourselves now too, because like I said, our freedoms are taken away. We're limited to go out and do things, interact. Social distancing. We can't go to really work. So let's instead of look to outside, let's look inwards. And looking inwards, I think we have to first take a look at the way we think, because if we change the way we think, we change the way we take actions, and it's going to change the results we're going to have. So here's kind of my little tip in terms of doing that. Just kind of give yourself some time to sit down, maybe think or even write about what you actually want to do with your life. What are some of the goals that you have? Because you want to start off kind of almost reverse engineering it all. It's kind of like if you want to build a home, you want to figure out how many rooms you have, how many washrooms, what's what type of requirements that you want in your kitchen, you know, what you want in terms of the layout. So you figure out the master plan first, and then later on you decide how you're going to put all those pieces together. Because you don't build a home just by nailing and gluing pieces of material together and kind of hope that you come up with something that you like. So first off, come up with your master plan, what your end goal is, and then reverse engineer it. So basically, from there, once you have sort of your reverse engineer, you can kind of divide it into a few things. Your goal, and then you have sort of something what we call a chief aim, something that you can achieve in, say, several months, something that's small enough for you to achieve, but big enough for it to excite you. and then figure out your next logical step. I think that's going to be important for a lot of us because a lot of us are just kind of just paralyzed by the situation. Many of us are just kind of sitting on the couches, looking at our phones, watching TV or whatever, Netflix or whatnot. No, you gotta be out there. You gotta be hustling because once this thing's over, you should be hitting the floor running. You should have the advantage over everyone else. I mean, while everyone's doing the same thing, just kind of sitting waiting for the world to go back to normal. If you actually do something for yourself and create an opportunity, you are definitely going to have a competitive edge. And just kind of going through like a free flow, a stream of consciousness. I mean, what can you do at this point? Like, it's very limited. A lot of things like myself, like a martial arts school, we're doing online classes. People are doing online meetings and such. But if you were working for a company and you weren't doing that type of stuff, now's your opportunity. Now's your opportunity to study something new. Definitely have a new side hustle. That's something that you should have going. At least get started like a game plan, know what you want. Um, so let's just say, for example, you're gonna have a few meetings with some of your closest friends. Connect with them, offer emotional support, offer mental support, share your story and how you're dealing with it, what you're going through, and what the things that can help other people. And once you start building a community and that community trusts you and kind of likes you, they're going to want to work with you in the future. So if they want to work with you in the future, that's money in your pocket, right? And that's a security that you can give yourself because the job that you can't get fired from is the job that you give yourself, right? And so that's something that you should really consider is that go out and start building connections now, network as you kind of sort of dabble and feel out as to what you really love out there, because I think even just talking to a few people, they say, well, I just keep on changing and I can't really figure out what I want. Well, take a look at so far what you've done. What are the common elements that you like and dislike about all the things that you've done? You might like working with people. You might not like working with people. So based off of that, you could simply start doing logical deduction as to what you should do, what you shouldn't do. I mean, beyond that, it's if you just continue on that path, the answers will come to you, right? You don't need all the answers right now, because let's look at any business plan, any war plan that ever was ever created. Even after the first week, everything has changed because you learned about something new. It changes the whole dynamics of things, and so I think you need to be adaptable in that way. Me running a martial arts school, I think it's kind of like if let's just say, for example, you have an MMA fighter and they're trained to fight in MMA, and so they train themselves to fight, and when it's time to compete, they actually find out that the rules have changed, and so that's obviously going to be emotionally and mentally kind of jolting, and you're going to have to adapt. Let's say both fighters, you say, well, we could win by knockout, we could win out by decision, we could win by submission. You could so let's just say now you got to win by, I don't know, you can only fight with one hand. You can't use both hands. You have to use only one hand to fight. So who's going to win? Because both of you weren't training for that. It's the one that's going to be adaptable in that situation and is going to learn quickly. And I think we have to kind of take that sort of mentality to what's happening to ourselves in life now. And that's why I've gravitated to martial arts for so many years, because it's taken me out of bad places and brought me to focus on improving myself. And I think everyone needs to sort of take that type of mentality, and that's transferable skill to everywhere in life. Um, so I'm gonna end this video here. It's getting long. I think there's so much more to talk about, and hopefully I'm gonna have an opportunity to create more videos like this and share with you some of my insight. And hopefully it's gonna serve you through this time and help you find your path in your journey to wherever you want to be. All right, talk to you guys soon.